Do you remember the lesson from the last video? After Moses taught the people in chapter 20 to be brave and trust God in difficult times, he continued explaining how they were to handle hard situations with fairness and care once they were living in the promised land. Sometimes life brought confusing or sad circumstances, and God wanted his people to respond with wisdom and responsibility. Moses explained that if someone was found harmed in a field and no one knew who had done it, the leaders of the nearest town were to take responsibility. They were to measure the distance to the surrounding towns to see which was closest. The elders of that town would then lead a special ceremony asking God to remove any guilt from the people. This showed that even when no one knew exactly what had happened, the community still cared about justice and about keeping their hearts clean before the Lord. God wanted his people to take responsibility and seek peace. Moses also gave instructions about situations involving marriage during times of war. If someone wished to marry a woman from another nation, she was to be treated with dignity and given time to adjust to her new life. She was not to be treated harshly or as property. If the marriage did not continue, she was to be allowed to go free. This showed that God cared about kindness and respect, even in complicated situations. Next, Moses spoke about families. If a man had two wives and favored one over the other, he was not allowed to ignore the rights of his firstborn son. The firstborn was to receive the special inheritance portion, even if he was not the son of the favorite wife. God wanted fairness inside the home. Feelings were not supposed to decide what was right. Then Moses addressed something very serious: a son who stubbornly refused correction and would not listen to his parents. This situation involved ongoing rebellion and disrespect, not just a mistake. The parents were to bring the matter before the elders at the city gate, and the leaders would handle it according to the law. This showed that obedience and respect within the family were important for the health of the whole community. Moses finished with a reminder that wrongdoing brings serious consequences. In certain cases, when judgment was carried out publicly, the body was not to remain displayed overnight, but buried the same day. This was because every person is made by God, and the land itself was to remain clean and set apart. Through all these instructions, we see that God cared deeply about justice, responsibility, family order, and human dignity. Even in difficult and complicated situations, he wanted his people to act with fairness, wisdom, and respect. As they prepared to enter the promised land, they were learning that following God meant honoring him not only in worship, but also in everyday decisions at home, in leadership, and in the community. Subscribe to Seeds of Joy and continue to learn the Bible.